Hello there, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign, especially rising. Wow, the Lord of your sign is Jupiter, and he's coming into the heart of the sun in a very lucky house. This could be lucky money breaks, including winning money, or even some kind of amazing opportunity with business, romance, or your children, even fertility coming up this month, as well as a hyper focus on better health and work stories coming through the sky. Let's get into the details of what happens during the month of April for the Sagittarius folk in the world. All right, to begin, sorry about the construction sound outside my window. Oh, by the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer. I use whole sign houses. I use Hellenistic and Babylonian tools, and I love asteroids. Want to know more about me? I'm teaching classes all of the time, but my Sky Reader course is starting mid-April. Be your own astrologer, time your best life. Check it out. And I have a ton of other stuff you can see. My Patreon community gets all my content ad-free ahead of the time, as well as my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. People get a bunch of discount codes and perks. All of that content, all of my information is below. Hit that more button and you can see what I'm up to. That sound is so annoying outside my window. Sagittarius, let's get rolling. I have no idea what it is, but I hear it every single day, and I need to do some kind of neighborhood complaint. I don't know if you guys hear it. Okay. So to begin, you guys have, I'm going to just jump in, I'm not going in chronological order. I want to talk to you about Jupiter meeting with the sun. Okay, this is your fifth house. It's a lucky house. Jupiter is in a lucky house and he's a lucky god. So we've got Jupiter juice in the fifth house of winning a lottery, going to the casino and getting all the money, having some kind of speculation financially pay off. And what can you say? Jupiter brings wealth and prosperity. And this is a lucky, happy, joyful, prosperous meeting with the sun on April the 11th. April the 11th. If that sound doesn't stop, I'm just about to jump out my window. So anyway, April the 11th. And it's a one-day event. It's a Kazemi. So look to that day. If you were an independent business owner or an artist, you could pitch your product to an agent. You could open up a course. You could sell something. It's a good lucky day for anything you want to do, fifth house. Now, it is a fertility house, and it could have to do with children. Either one of your children saying they're pregnant, hopefully they're adults, or you, if you're in the fertility zone, or your partner becoming pregnant. And so fertility wise, if you've been trying to have a kid, I would definitely say that something good could be breaking out for some of you Sages, if that's a priority in your life. But it definitely looks like a bit of money luck as well. So look forward to that, or some luck coming into the sky for your children if you have children, okay? Next, we're going to talk about Venus and Mercury, and we're going to go through that individually. Mercury is going to move into the sign of Taurus, which is your sixth house, on April 3rd, all the way till June 11th, because that involves a retrograde. He's in an elemental earth year. He's doing a lot of earth stories this year. Well, he's in your sixth house. He can help you redefine things to do with pets or leases, rent a property, rent out a property, work on your budget and your books regarding real life debt, renegotiate some debts, can contract to buy a pet, take home a pet, buy or sell a pet. Hopefully not selling a pet unless you're a breeder, but things like that are really active for you all the way through the month of April. But on the 21st of April, Mercury will retrograde, so be careful there. That could be going back over a lease, redoing it, changing your mind about it. This is your work house, and this is the workspace with colleagues and coworkers. And, with Mercury there for that much time, there's a lot of communication, a lot of conversation, a lot of ideating going on, somehow very busy in the workspace. Now, it's your health space, and Mercury can rule lab tests and results like that, so you might be going back and forth, checking out different, blood tests and lab work, and having conversations with a healer or a doctor about your health, and ironing out the details during the entirety of the month of April. I mean, actually till June 11th. So a lot of focus in that part of your sky. During the month of April, you'll also have Venus, the goddess of money and love, spending some time in that sixth house with the planet Mercury, particularly between April 3rd and 11th, they're there together. And so between April 3rd and 11th, having the benefic in her home sign, this is great for signing a lease, to rent a place or rent out a place. This is great for buying a pet, selling a pet, something with your pet. This is great for your health and health work routines. This is great for promotions and raises and asking for them in the workspace and around the career and work stories. Okay. And then on top of it, then Venus herself will leave on the 11th of April and, leave, kiss goodbye the whole sixth house, say goodbye to Mercury, and she moves into your marriage house. Now, when I say marriage, I mean committed, significant relationships. Business partnerships can be included here, as well as your clients and audiences that you outreach to from your career space. Venus makes you a perfect salesperson, promoter, and anything you put into the world will be more popular and appealing, especially if you sell product or share stuff with a marketplace or an audience. This is going to be a nice glow up on the 11th of April to May the 7th, but it bonifies your marriage. And so therefore your marriage partner or your significant other may go through a period of good luck and prosperity, or it may make the relationship glow up and feel really good. Suddenly you're getting along with your spouse or your partner or your live-in partner. Suddenly things seem much better. The tension is gone. You're also looking at the possibility of significant women showing up in your life to be very important to you in some way. So if you're a single Sagittarius rising, Sun and Moon secondarily, and Venus transits the 7th every year, this could be the time which a new relationship, a new love story can emerge in your life, especially with Jupiter bringing opportunity for new love in your 5th house of romance. Having Venus sextiling from the 7th house is definitely looking like some love is trying to happen here, So if you want a new love, if you're looking for some love, this is positive. Now, don't forget, Venus is here till May 7th, but April 11th to May 7th, there's a lot of vibe going on. It looks like a potential new romance blossoming. Finally, it's a fertility transit because Venus is the house of the other, particularly maybe if your other's a woman, but not necessarily. And Jupiter is trying to make babies for some of you in the 5th until mid-May. And this could be some some news or information or some good things happening regarding pregnancy with you and the one you're with. Also, you're going to find that when Venus is moving through your 7th house, that if you want to sign legal agreements about things, she's protecting you. So you're going to have a kind of a benefic protector of the story of legal contracts. She's in a mutual reception as well to Mercury moving through your 6th, meaning that she's in Mercury's house and Mercury's in her house. This conversation, this hotline between each other means that legal agreements around pets or tenancies or leases should be safe and lucky for you during the time that Venus is April 11th through to the end of the month in your 7th house. So you may find a place to rent or lease before that, April 3rd to the 11th, but 11th to the end of the month, Venus is making sure that all the legal deals that you could possibly make regarding leases and rentals are going to operate for your best good. Now, Venus is also going to make a trine back to Pluto in your 3rd house. And this is something we haven't seen because Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius in your lifetime. This is the first of a new 20-year story until 2044. And so what will happen is around the 11th to the 15th, Venus is going to be flowing back to Pluto in your 3rd house of trips and travel, of siblings, of aunts, uncles, cousins, book, writing, communicating, websites. If you're single, this could be the beginning of a new relationship that you meet somebody on a dating app, or you meet somebody in your local neighborhood. And for a single Sagittarius, that's really exciting. And that's going to be really powerful between the 11th and 16th of April. If you're already in a relationship, this can look like a trip you're going to take to travel or even move with somebody very important to you, somebody who is a beloved. And also you could have good agreements and things occur with siblings, especially a younger sibling, but any sibling during that window of time of around the 11th to the 16th. If you're writing something, Venus can mean you get a contract, a publishing deal, or something like that during that transit as well. Now, also, I want to talk about some chronology here, but we need to address Mars. Mars is moving into on the March 25th through to May 20th, Mars is in your 8th house of chunky money. This is your 401k retirement plan, tax rebate, tax money, credit card debt, leverage money, mortgages, inheritance money, shared resources with a spouse or spouse-like person. Your business partner monies can be here too. Now, it's resources that are shared with other people and that you don't earn. And this chunky money is going to have a Martian story going on. It's a long one, right? 6 weeks, March 25th, May 20th. But it's not always the best because Mars is fallen here. So you might be careful with your stock portfolio, Sages, because we all know there's a correction coming. We ain't seen nothing yet. This can be an elimination, a downdraft, a story of loss of some of those savings or those investments. And, money market might be safer than stocks right now. And then also, we just saw the banking collapses. I'm recording this on March 22nd. So be careful with when you spread your money out between different banks and don't put all your money in one bank, for example. So you're going through some kind of potential financial challenge here. That's all I can say. That's what it looks like. What can I tell you? I mean, there is a feeling with Mars moving through this part of your sky that you may also be going through an elimination process and cutting away something. And that can look like spousal alimony, palimony, discussions, agreements, and debates, or discussing fighting over some kind of inheritance with other people. Those kinds of things happen, disagreements and conflict when Mars moves through the 8th house. So that's all of March and into May 20th. Just be watchful for that. All right, so April 7th to the 10th is a soft sky. You're going to have the first Mercury sextile Mars and then Venus sextile Uranus for the only time. So Mercury sextiling Mars on April 7th to 10th is going to be something positive to do with agreements, finances, leases, tenancies, and pets. You get that same Mercury wound retrograde sextiling Mars April 23rd to 27th, same delineation. You may be going back over something, changing your mind or renegotiating something that you start April 7 to 10 about finances, job, work, pet, investments, etc., tenancies, all of that. If you have any health challenges, Mercury is Mr. Lab Test. And so you could be going back over different kinds of lab works. And that could be a second pass, April 23rd to 27th, to redo the tests. Mars could be about getting rid of the hidden variables that are bothering your body that you can't see, because your 8th house is things that are hidden from your view. Now, also, in the month of April, you're going to have Venus sextiling Neptune, dreamy, romantic, creative, lovey-dovey stuff. You can't complain, right? Venus is sextiling Neptune from your 6th house at that time, April 7th to 10th. She hasn't moved into your 7th yet. So April 7th to 10th, she's still in your 6th house. The dream lease, the dream property, the dream rental, the dream pet, the dream job that you can do from home, the romantic love story in the dating phase with somebody close to home, meeting someone new that you're dating close to home and having a dreamy soulmate vibe romance going here, April 7 to 10. I already talked about April 11th, and that's going to be that Jupiter-Sun event, and then we're going to keep moving forward. Venus is disagreeing with Saturn. There's an argument on the story of the 15th and 14th to the 16th or so of the month. Venus squaring Saturn. Saturn's in your 4th house of property, land, and real estate. Venus is in the house of legal agreements and contracts. Let's make a story up. You have a property you want to buy or sell, but the buyer backs out at the last minute. You have a property you want to exit from that you've been leasing, and the landlord is holding you to a contract. You want to leave, but the landlord says you trashed the house for taking your damage deposit and suing you. Who knows? But it's things to do with property, land, home, and real estate. Venus squaring from the 7th house of legal contracts, vows, and agreements. It's gnarly. It's gnarly. Now, Venus here could also be something about your partner is going through some kind of challenging situation that intersects your domestic life with that person, because Venus is square the 4th house of your private life and your home life. Your partner says, I'm not going to be home for the next 7 days, and you don't agree with that. 7th house, having Saturn go through your 4th house over the next 3 years can be having an elder move in, could be having some challenges or depression or feeling of solitude or austerity around your home life. And this Venus square could be like, she's like, somebody that you're with is not agreeing with that story. Like you want to beautify the home and renovate the home, and Saturn says no because there's no money or the contractor's not available, and Venus is arguing from the 7th house, which could be your spouse or your mate going, we've got to do this anyway. I don't know, I'm making stuff up, but look for that tension between significant others in your home life on the 14th and 15th of the month. On April 23rd to the 27th, we have Mercury, again with the Mars story. I covered that, but we also have the Sun sextiling Saturn. The sun is going to be moving in the sky in your sixth house of the workspace. And that can be a boss, a leader, a solar figure in the workspace, sextiling Saturn, which is also an authority boss. This could be a promotion and raise or an up level for you, but it's also maybe like you can work from home, or you can establish some kind of new groundwork in your work that you do. It's a flow. It's positive. It's definitely got some career purpose energy, because that's what the sun can represent. And the sun in your chart is a ruler of Leo, which is your ninth house, which is also to do with legal matters. So there could be some kind of solidifying over court issues or legal situations that you need to work out. And it may involve property, land, or real estate. And you may resolve that in a positive way, April 23rd to the 27th. Now, at the very end of the month, there is a Mars energy as he comes into a sextile to Uranus, which is positive but surprising chunky money developments from your eighth house of inheritances and stocks, etc., and shared spousal resources, and a surprise from Uranus in your sixth house of your work and your lease and your tenancies and your pets. Who knows? Because it's Uranus. Expect a positive surprise in that area of your life. I can't tell you what it is because that's the nature of Uranus. It's unpredictable, but it looks like it should be something you're welcoming. You could have a surprise chunk of money that helps you pay off a debt. You might get a bunch of money back from something that someone owed you. You may sign off on your lease and have the landlord return all of your damage deposit despite your expectation you would get none of it, things like that. So some little slight, happy, unexpected money surprise for you at the end of the month, around the 28th to the 30th, okay? So I'm not covering the eclipses in detail or the lunations, but because I have a whole 90-minute video on that coming up for each sign, but there's a total solar eclipse. So that's why you need to subscribe, like, or hit that notification bell, please, because you'll get more juicy deep dive content with stars and asteroids involved for each sign and Sabian symbols. But here's what I want to say. What you got going on is a solar eclipse, total solar eclipse, ring of fire in your house of pregnancy, love, creativity, leisure, travel, enjoyment of life, independent business enterprise. You're going to have a new beginning. It starts April the 20th. It can unfold over the 6 months that follow. It will also impact sixth house matters, and your beginning that's favorably impacting maybe your debt, your long-term financial gain, your things to do with your work and work routines, health and health routines, things to do with your job. For some of you, it could be the end of a job so that you can do your own thing, be your own business owner, entrepreneur. And that is a new beginning with opportunity embedded into it, but also the potential for some kind of low-grade loss of opportunity because Jupiter will be eclipsed, right? I mean, so there's the great Jupiter, your Lord, on April the 11th, yay you, with the sun, but then later on there's that eclipse on the 20th, and Jupiter is like in the eclipse itself, so he's eclipsed. So proactively, I can't say much because eclipses are wild card energy, but it could be cautious around things to do with babies, fertility, creativity, and independent business enterprise and romance. Be more circumspect. However, life is life, fate is fate, and destiny is destiny. And there's something you're supposed to be doing here because that eclipse cycle moving through your fifth house, Sagittarius, is going to amplify the fertility, the pregnancy, and the independent business enterprise over the next 2 years. So it's just starting out is something that you're supposed to focus on. Get your creative, muse-driven self in gear. Time to find joy, play, and pleasure and get creative, or make a baby or find your romantic partner. All right, bye-bye. Enjoy April.